There's a man named Patrick who bought a Toyota in 1998, drove it every single day for 26 years, and then posted something on an owner forum that stopped people mid-scroll. 440,000 miles. Original engine, 2 starters. That's it. Here's what makes that number genuinely interesting. You can buy that exact truck right now for around $25,000. A new RAV4 starts at $32,000. So what if the most reliable SUV you could own isn't the one everyone's actually buying? Because while American buyers spent 2 decades chasing the same 3 nameplates, there was a whole second tier of Japanese engineering sitting in the shadows. Not worse. Not forgotten by accident. Commercially destroyed by magazine rulings, brand collapses, and market forces that had nothing to do with how long the machines would run. These are 5 Japanese SUVs that America ignored, that are now racking up 400,000 miles while their owners just keep driving. And we're starting with the one that got killed by a single article. The year is 1996. Isuzu is quietly selling the Trooper across the country. It's a legitimate body-on-frame 4-wheel drive SUV with a 3.5-liter V6, a proven off-road pedigree, and sales holding their own against bigger competitors. Then, Consumer Reports publishes a test. They run a 1995 Trooper through a standard double lane change maneuver. The vehicle tips severely. Their technical director goes on record and says, quote, "Don't. Not until a satisfactory repair is made." The story goes national. Sales collapse. Isuzu actually sues Consumer Reports for product disparagement. The case goes to trial, and in 2000 a jury delivers one of the stranger verdicts in automotive history. They find 8 of Consumer Reports' statements were false. 1 was published with reckless disregard for the truth. Isuzu wins on the facts. The jury awards $0 because the commercial damage was already done. By 2007, Isuzu is selling 7,098 passenger vehicles in the United States, down from over 100,000 just 8 years earlier, a 93% collapse. In 2009, they exit the US market entirely. Not because the trucks were failing, because the brand never recovered from a single ruling. Here's what got left behind. The Trooper used a 3.5-liter V6 called the 6VE1. And this is the detail that people who actually know these trucks never stop talking about. The engine is non-interference, which means if the timing belt ever snaps, the pistons and valves don't collide. No catastrophic failure. You replace the belt and keep driving. On a used truck that might already have 200,000 miles on it, that single design decision changes everything about the risk calculation. On a forum called Planet Isuzu, still active in 2025, there's an owner who posted this about his 1989 Trooper with a 5-speed manual. 358,686 miles. Still drives it to work. 80 miles round trip every day. Quote, "By far the best vehicle I have ever owned. You can buy a clean Trooper right now for somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000. But if you thought that story was hard to believe, the next one gets stranger. Because this time the vehicle wasn't killed by a magazine. It was killed by its own price tag." In 1998, Toyota launched the Land Cruiser 100 series in the United States. Full-time 4-wheel drive, locking center differential. A 4.7-liter V8 descended from the same engine family powering professional expedition vehicles for 20 years. Sticker price, around $52,000 in the year 2000. Adjusted for today, that's north of $100,000. Toyota sold 18,569 of them that year. In a country buying over 1 million SUVs annually, the math killed it. The average American wasn't spending $52,000 on any SUV in 1998. So the Land Cruiser became a cult object by default. Bought by people who understood exactly what they were getting, maintained with near religious discipline, and then driven until the odometer became almost fictional. The engine is called the 2UZ-FE V8. It powers the Land Cruiser, the Lexus LX 470, the Lexus GX 470, the 4Runner V8, the Sequoia, and the Tundra. On the owner forum IH8 Mud, members have documented this engine running past 400,000, 500,000, and in at least one case, a Tundra, same engine, past 1 million miles. Back to Patrick, 440,000 miles on his 1998 Land Cruiser. He's replaced the starter twice, 2 water pumps. In 2005, J.D. Power published its initial quality study. The category was Premium Luxury SUV. The winner was the Lexus GX 470, not the Range Rover, not the BMW X5, not the Mercedes ML, a mid-size body-on-frame truck built on the Land Cruiser's bones. It won the award 2 years in a row. Four-Wheeler magazine gave it Four-Wheeler of the Year in both 2003 and 2004. That's extraordinarily rare for any luxury vehicle, and yet most people have either never heard the GX 470's name or can't quite place it, because Lexus was busy selling the RX crossover, which was moving 100,000 units a year. The GX was an afterthought in the showroom. A real truck for people who actually needed one. Mechanically, it's almost identical to the Land Cruiser. 2UZ-FE V8, 5-speed automatic, full-time 4-wheel drive with low range, the same timing belt service every 90,000 miles. Car Wizard, one of the most respected mechanic voices on YouTube, has called this truck, and I'm quoting directly, truly the best SUV on the road. He shows a GX 470 with 170,000 miles that, in his words, still drives like a brand new Lexus. On Club Lexus, there's a documented 300,000-mile 2004 GX 470 that was listed as a $3,800 trade-in. A working 300,000-mile truck traded in like it was disposable. One thing you must know before buying one: the suspension system. When it works, the ride is exceptional. When it fails, Lexus will quote you a bill that can run several $1,000s. The standard owner fix is a coil conversion. Swap the airbags for Land Cruiser coils. $1,500 to $3,000. Done once, never touched again. Build that into your purchase price, and the GX 470 becomes one of the most compelling used buys in any category. Right now, they're trading around $17,000 on average. But the fourth vehicle on this list might permanently change how you think about luxury SUVs. Because it holds the single most extreme documented mileage case we found in this entire research. In 2001, Motor Trend announced its SUV of the year. The winner was the MDX, a first-year model from a brand that had only existed for 12 years. It also won North American Truck of the Year that same year, back-to-back major industry awards. It used Honda's J35 V6, paired with a 5-speed automatic and full-time all-wheel drive, built at Honda's plant in Alliston, Ontario. Interior genuinely competitive with German alternatives at the time. Sticker sat around $35,000, below a comparable BMW X5. Now, here's the honest caveat, because the research doesn't hide problems. The 2003 and 2004 MDX had a 5-speed automatic with a defective third clutch. Class action. Lawsuit. Not settled until 2020. One Edmunds reviewer posted this. Have a 2001 MDX. Transmission died at 104,000 miles. Warranty expired at 100,000. That's real, and you need to know it. But here's what the research also shows. When you run that same vehicle properly, drain and refill the transmission every 30,000 miles, replace the timing belt at 105,000 miles without exception, the MDX becomes a completely different animal. The most extreme documented case in this entire research belongs to a 2001 Acura MDX, used as an airport shuttle in Lake Forest, California, reported by The Drive in August 2017, verified by VIN number 946,252 miles. The owner ran Mobil 1 synthetic oil, changed every 10,000 miles, drained and refilled the transmission every 10,000 miles, added an aftermarket transmission cooler, rebuilt the transmission professionally when needed, and just kept driving. On the AcuraZine owner forum, members have posted past 300,000 miles, 350,000 miles, and one member at 390,000 miles who wrote simply, "Still the best car ever." A first-generation Acura MDX with 150,000 miles costs between $5,000 and $8,000 today. It won Motor Trend's highest honor the year it launched, and there is a documented example of one running past 946,000 miles. The only question is whether you're willing to maintain it like the person who drove it there. Now, the fifth vehicle. The one whose manufacturer filed a trademark renewal just 4 months ago. The one where a mechanic actually called his customer specifically to read him the odometer. In the fall of 2015, Nissan announced that after 750,000 units sold since model year 2000, the Xterra would be discontinued. No farewell edition, no ceremony, just a quiet end to one of the only body-on-frame, go-anywhere, fix-it-yourself SUVs that had survived into the modern era at a mainstream price. At its peak in 2000, the Xterra sold 88,578 units. The second generation, built from 2005 through 2015, uses the VQ40DE, a 4.0-liter V6 with a timing chain, not a belt. And this engine family, the VQ V6, won Ward's 10 best engines for 14 consecutive years, every single year from 1995 through 2008. The only engine in the history of that award to appear every year since it began. There is one critical thing you must know before buying a second-gen Xterra. It's called SMOD, the strawberry milkshake of death. It affects 2005 through 2010 models with the automatic transmission. The factory radiator has an internal transmission cooler built into it. When that cooler cracks, coolant and transmission fluid mix. The transmission is destroyed. Repairs run between $2,500 and $5,000. The fix is cheap. A replacement aftermarket radiator for $150 to $350 removes the problem entirely. Manual transmission models are completely immune because they don't use the radiator cooler at all. On Club Xterra, a mechanic posted about a customer's 2006 Xterra. He called the customer specifically to tell him the mileage, 402,000 miles. Quote, "Runs great. Amazing." A 2001 owner on the same forum, 408,000 miles. Runs fine. In December 2024, Nissan filed a trademark renewal for the Xterra nameplate with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. A Nissan executive was quoted in early 2024 saying a new Xterra is, in his words, very actively considered. The truck that Nissan quietly walked away from might be coming back, because the people who bought it never stopped asking. So here's what connects all 5 of these. The Trooper didn't fail. A jury confirmed that. Isuzu failed at recovering from a story. The Land Cruiser didn't fail. The price did. The GX 470 didn't fail. The RX crossover was just easier to sell. The MDX didn't fail. The transmission did, on some of them, when owners followed Honda's maintenance schedule instead of what the vehicle actually needed. And the Xterra didn't fail. The market decided it was done with body on frame. 5 trucks. 5 different reasons the mainstream walked away. The engineering was never the problem. IC Cars analyzed nearly 400 million vehicles for their longevity study. The industry average for reaching 250,000 miles is 4.8%. Toyota averages 17.8%, almost 4 times higher. Every vehicle on this list rewards disciplined maintenance in a way that most modern vehicles simply don't. Patrick is still driving his 1998 Land Cruiser. Someone in California ran an airport shuttle past 946,000 miles. A mechanic called his customer to tell him his Xterra just crossed 400,000. These aren't myths. They're forum posts, VIN numbers, and odometer photos from people who just refuse to stop driving. The question was never whether these trucks last. The question is whether you knew they were out there. If you found this useful, hit subscribe. We cover the vehicles the mainstream overlooks and the stories behind why they got left behind.